bar magnet as an equivalent solenoid, okay, or we can say equivalent of solenoid and bar magnet. Now we know that current loop acts as magnetic dipole, okay. The magnetic dipole moment associated with the loop is nothing but M is equal to NIA. N is number of turns, I is the current passing through it, and A is the area vector. This also we know. Now we have resemblance of magnetic field lines for bar magnet and a solenoid, which suggests that bar magnet may be thought of as a large number of circulating currents in analogy with a solenoid. So you consider a bar magnet as a solenoid, or you consider the solenoid as bar magnet because their magnetic field lines are similar. Try to understand this point, okay. Both the bar magnet and the solenoid, they have the similar magnetic field lines, and therefore magnet can be considered to be made up of a large number of circulating currents, or we consider that the solenoid is nothing but a bar magnet, or both are, we can say, equivalent to each other, okay. Now see, we have to make an analogy, okay. We take this magnetic field of solenoid, okay, and magnetic field of solenoid we consider one solenoid in this figure, okay, which is having a finite length, okay, finite solenoid which is shown in this figure, and we shall show that at large distance this axial field is same as that of bar magnet. So whatever is the field which is produced by the solenoid is similar to that of the bar magnet. So this is our figure of solenoid. Here you can see from the figure. Now from the figure you must understand what are the things which are given, okay. The radius of this solenoid is A, okay. The length of solenoid is 2L. It is taken as 2L for simplicity, and this is the midpoint of solenoid, and from the midpoint of solenoid a point P is here, which is at distance r. So the distance of this point P is from here, that is from this midpoint, okay, from here to here. This distance is r, okay. Now this is made up of number of turns. There are number of turns here, okay. Let us say there are n number of turns, okay. Then number of turns per unit length if you want to find, then it must be n upon 2 times the length, because the length is taken as 2L. So length of the solenoid is 2L, and that is why number of turns per unit length will be total number of turns divided by the length of solenoid, okay. So these are the things. Consider the solenoid in this figure, which is having small n number of turns per unit length. What is number of turns per unit length? That is explained here, okay. Let the length of this solenoid is 2L, radius is A. We can equivalent or evaluate the axial field at point P at distance r from the center O of the solenoid. What is the axial magnetic field of this solenoid at this point P? That we can easily evaluate, okay. અહીંયા O point થી P point પાસે કેટલું magnetic field છે, અથવા તો એવું કહી શકાય કે from the magnetic field of this solenoid, okay, the magnetic field of this solenoid at this point P. The point P is at distance, say, r. The distance of point P is r from the center of the solenoid, and we want to find out the magnetic field at point P, okay. Consider a circular element of thickness dx of solenoid at a distance x from the center. Now try to understand. We have considered a very small segment of this width dx, which is situated at distance x from the center. So this distance is how much? X. Okay, now the width of this is dx. Okay, there must be some number of turns in it. Number of turns per unit length means number of turns in 1 centimeter or 1 meter is say n. Try to understand. N is the number of turns in 1 unit meter, 1 meter or 1 centimeter, whatever you take. This is the number of turns in unit length. Then in dx, how many number of turns will be there? So the number of turns which are there in this blue marked region of width dx must be n into dx. So n into dx is the number of turns in this small width. Okay, it consists of n dx turn, that is explained by me. Let I is the current in the solenoid, so the current through this particular section which is marked in dark blue is also I. The value of magnetic field on the axis of this circular current loop. Now we consider this small current loop. Try to understand. We are now taking this as a current loop of n dx turns. Okay, n dx turns. And what is the magnetic field produced at this point by this current loop, that we shall find, and then we shall take the integration to find the total field. Okay, here this is the central point. Okay, so we have this formula which we have derived, okay, in our 4th chapter, that magnetic field produced by a current loop of n number of turns is given by mu 0 n I a square upon 2a square plus x square raised to 3 by 2. This is the formula. That is a very long discussion we had in chapter number 4. Okay, so that is already derived. So this is a current loop which we are considering right now. This is the current loop, that is blue colored current loop we are taking, and we will find out the magnetic field at this point P, which is situated at certain distance. That distance we shall discuss. Okay, but how many number of turns are there in this particular region? That is n dx. So instead of this capital N, we shall write n dx. Okay, the distance of this point P from this current loop, that also we shall calculate. See, total distance from center O to this point P is what? It is R. What is the distance between the center of the solenoid and the loop? That distance is x. So this distance of this point P from this blue colored loop will be how much? It will be r minus x. Try to understand the figure. Okay, you can see this also. Okay, from this figure, if you have a close look. Okay, see, this total distance is r, and this much distance is x. So this distance will be r minus x. So distance of this point P is r minus x. Okay, that is explained here. Okay, so in the equation which we had here, okay, this equation we have already discussed. X shows the distance of the point. What does x shows? X shows the distance of the point where we want to find the magnetic field. Instead of x, what shall we write? We shall write r minus x for our case. Okay, so that much modifications are done in the next equation. Instead of that capital N, we have written n into dx. and instead of x it is written as r minus x, other all things are same. That way you try to understand what are the changes in the equation. Now the magnitude of the total field now we want to find produced by this solenoid. Then we can take the integration of this equation. Okay, now integration will say, for example, you have this solenoid, you have this center, and here we have considered the element. Now the total length is 2L. Here this point is O. This side the length, that is the, if you consider this as a x-axis, then here the coordinate will be minus L and here the coordinate will be plus L. So you have to consider all such segments right from minus L to plus L. So your limit of integration will become x is equal to minus L to plus L. Okay, so integration can be taken, okay, by considering the limit from x is equal to minus L to plus L. Just we have to show the integration, we don't have to do that integration. Okay, what are the constant quantities first of all in the above equation? Just you find it out. See, mu 0 and I and a square, they are constants, so you just take them out. 2 is also constant, you take it out. Now keep other things on the right hand side of integration. Integration is taken from minus L to plus L, and whatever remaining things are there, that you keep dx, then this whole term r minus x square plus a square raised to 3 by 2. Okay, so that is done here. That is our equation number 2. Rather this is our final right now the equation is. Okay, understood? This is the equation if you take the integration. Okay, integration is taken. Now that point which we have considered, okay, the point which we have considered, it considered to be at a very large distance. Okay, you consider that distance r to be very large in comparison to the length of the solenoid. Then that distance is also large in comparison to the radius. So now if you consider these two things, if r is taken very large, okay, then in this equation what will happen? This x can be neglected, then this a square can be neglected. So here you will have r square raised to 3 by 2. So 2 will be cancelled out, you will have only r cube, and that distance is constant. Try to understand the point at which we want to find the magnetic field, that point does not change its position every now and then. So distance r cube is also constant, so it is also taken out of the integration. So now in the next step, after applying this condition that r is very much greater than x, okay, r is very much greater than x, as well as r is very much greater than a. Rather x we don't consider, r is very much greater than L. Okay, r is very much greater than L. Okay, then this x can be neglected because x is also very small distance from the center. Okay, so by applying these conditions, okay, we can neglect the value of x and a. Here r is greater than L, r is greater than a, so we neglect those values. X is also very small, that is smaller than L. Try to understand, x is smaller than L. Okay, so it must be very small in comparison to r, so we neglect the values which I have tried to explain. Okay, so here this part will result into only r cube, and that r cube is taken out of the integration, you can see. Okay, so now in the integration there is only dx. Okay, you just have dx. Okay, and integration of dx is nothing but x, and its limit is from minus L to plus L. So instead of x you write L minus L. Okay, so this becomes 2L, which is shown here. Other all quantities are as it is. See, mu 0 as it is, in I a square, mu 0 n I a square, 2r cube as it is. Only instead of this part, it is 2L. It is 2L, and that 2L, how did they get? That I explained, that integration of dx is x, and if you substitute the lower limit and upper limit in this equation, then you get 2L. So instead of this part we have 2L. Okay. Now magnetic moment of solenoid. Try to understand what is magnetic moment. Magnetic moment is nothing but total number of NIA as such. Total number of turns into current passing into area of cross section. Now here you can find the magnetic moment of this solenoid. Total number of turns is nothing but number of turns per unit length multiplied by the length of solenoid. Number of turns per unit length is small n, length of solenoid is 2L, so total number of turns in the solenoid is n into 2L, so this part is clear. Into current I, so current I into area of cross section, that cross sectional area of the solenoid is nothing but it is a circular cross section, so pi into square of radius, so it becomes pi a square. So this is the magnetic moment of solenoid. Try to understand. Again you see, magnetic moment of solenoid is m is equal to n into 2L I into pi a square. Number of equation is third equation. So give the numbers in between. Okay. Now multiplying and dividing this equation 2 by 2 pi. Try to understand, this equation is multiplied and divided by 2 pi. What will happen? Okay, here in the numerator there will be extra 2 pi, and in the denominator also there will be extra 2 pi. So 2 pi into 2 will become 4 pi. Okay, so it is shown in the next step. You can see, okay, that 2L is already there. 2 pi is arranged. See, pi into a square is taken. Okay, 2 is kept here, extra 2. This mu 0 n I 2L a square, everything is as it is. Just you have added this 2 pi. And here in the denominator 2 was already there, so 2 into 2 pi will become 4 pi. Okay. Now substitute the value of equation 3. What was our equation 3? Equation 3 is n into 2L into I into pi a square is nothing but magnetic moment. So wherever we find this n 2L I pi a square, we will write m. So it has been replaced by m. Okay. See. Okay. This 2 and mu 0 will remain. This 2 and mu 0 will remain. This 2 and mu 0 is as it is. This all is our magnetic moment, n into I into 2L into pi a square. Okay. Instead of this, we have written magnetic moment m. So m into this 2 is written as 2m, and in the denominator there is 4 pi r cube. You can easily understand this. Now this is also the far axial magnetic field of bar magnet. This is the magnetic field which is similar to that of the bar magnet, which is obtained experimentally. So the magnetic field of solenoid and magnetic field of bar magnet, which is found from the experiment, is same. So we can say that both are equivalent, or we can say bar magnet and solenoid produce similar magnetic fields. Okay, the magnetic moment of bar magnet is similarly equal to the magnetic moment of equivalent solenoid. Try to remember this part, very important. The magnetic moment of solenoid and magnetic moment of bar magnet, okay, they are found to be same. Rather, we can say magnetic moment of bar magnet is equal to magnetic moment of equivalent solenoid. Equivalent solenoid means the magnetic field produced by bar magnet of a given material or given bar magnet is producing same magnetic field which is produced by the solenoid. Then and then we can say that they are equivalent to each other. Okay, so this is a very important point. As such, you just remember this. Okay, the magnetic moment of bar magnet is equal to the magnetic moment of an equivalent solenoid that produces the same magnetic field. Okay, thank you very much.